and welcome today to our presentation. My presentation today will be about CPR, and I'll tell you secret why I choose the CPR for my therapy. I was working in a hospital for 3 years, and the case that I face it every time or every day is the cardiac arrest. So I think the public need to be learning or teaching how to do CPR because they have cardiac arrest, they just stay beside the victim and cry or shouting, and they didn't do anything to benefit or affect his life. Important number here is about 92% of cardiac arrest die before they reach a hospital, and 88% of cardiac arrest across at home, and 70% of cardiac may feel helpless to act during a cardiac arrest or cardiac emergency. Today now in my presentation we will know what is CPR and how to do CPR and why will we do CPR and why CPR is important and where we will do CPR. First of all, let's start what is CPR. CPR is a cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Is the act of providing a restored breath and chest compression for a victim in cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest is when the heart stops, and when the heart stops beating, the breathing directly stops. Chain of survival. I have 5 steps that we should be followed in cardiac arrest to make this victim, or to save this life of this victim. Starting by make sure this is a cardiac arrest, and calling for help by calling 911 and begin early CPR. Then start rapid defibrillator, which use the AED unit or defibrillator. And the ACLS or paramedic will take care about it. I mean by the ACLS is advanced cardiac life support. And the victim after that will be taken to a cardiac arrest care hospital. Time is important in our life, especially in cardiac arrest, because in cardiac arrest, brain tissues die before or after 4 to 6 minutes if not get enough oxygen. And this tissue or this cells, when it dies, never come back. So the question, how to do CPR? First of all, our first step in CPR, we have to make sure the scene is safe. And do not enter the scene if it is not safe, like if the victim is lying down in the highway or there is a crime at the scene, because we want to protect yourself and not to be another victim or another patient. Second thing, you have to check for responsive by asking the victim, hey sir, okay, if there is no responsive, you have to call by 911 and starting the emergency response. But if the victim is on charge, you have to, or infant, you have to give him 2 minutes of CPR before calling for help. And this is the difference between adult and infant here, because the major reason for cardiac arrest in child and infant is the breathing or airway problems. If we give this child or infant breathing, we can save his life because maybe he has obstructed the airway or something. But in the adult, the major reason is the cardiac problem. Check for breathing by listening or looking for the chest movement and for the breathing. Listen for the breathing and feel the air that comes out from the mouth or the nose. If there is no breathing, you have to give the victim to restore breath. And this is the restore breath. After that, you have to check for the pulse. If the patient is adult, you have to check from the carotid artery or from the renal artery. After the victim is an infant, you have to check by the renal artery, and if there is no pulse, you have to start CPR. So how to do CPR? You can use both hands with CPR for adults for the chest compression, and you can use one hand if the victim is a child, and you can use 2 fingers if the victim is an infant. The AED unit. The AED unit is standard for the automatic external defibrillator, which gives the shock during cardiac arrest automatically, And it's an easy device that we can use it in cardiac arrest because it's just you have to only just press the button for that, and it's going to tell you what you have to do. And there's also a picture and that you should put the base in the chest. And you can find this one in any public place like airport or malls or a school or a college. So it's available for anyone. So how CPR affect normal? Chest compression makes the blood flow from the heart to the lung, and from the lung to the heart, and from the heart to all the body organ. So if we have a cardiac arrest and we do chest compression, we do the same thing that the heart do in normal way. We push the blood flow to the circulation. The small circulation which be the heart and lung, and the big circulation which be from the heart to all the body. And here there is, as I mentioned before, why the public need to be training in CPR, because there is special considerations like drowning or near drowning, because in drowning or near drowning you cannot use the AED because the water is a good conductor of the electricity. So if you imagine that you give this victim a shock and there's water in the ground or it's dry for water, this shock is going to deliver to yourself or deliver to any person who is beside you. And if you give a shock for normal patient or normal person, it's going to make his heart stop and you will have another thing. So before using the AED in the drowning or re-drowning, you have to make sure there is no water, and you have to make sure that you dry the patient. Okay. Second thing is the pacemaker, the small device that delivers shock directly to the heart system. Some patients they have a heart problem and they need to have this pacemaker under their skin and near to the heart, and you can see that if you see their chest. If you mention there is a device or pacemaker there, you have to be careful. You can put the pads for the AED on top of it. You have to make it away from it. Second thing, if you mention this pacemaker, give a shock. You have to not give a shock from the AED until 60 seconds or more, because it's just given a shock. AED or DNA or do not resuscitation. Some patients have this on their necklace or a necklace around their neck or hand. What does this mean? This means they didn't want to live anymore, and they have this report signed by their doctor that they want to not to be resuscitated after they arrest. So their choice, you cannot do anything for them. Air flight line protocol. I think you should know about this one, because in many movies showing the people that shock can be given to victim with a systolic rhythm, and this is not true. Because shock only can be delivered to a tachycardia without pulse and ventricular fibrillation, and it's really different from this rhythm. And this rhythm or this flat line only can administer CPR and some kind of medication. So don't believe this movie, and this is the truth. Airway obstruction. Airway obstruction can be happen while people eating and can shock their airway and cannot make them able to breathe. So imagine you're eating with your friend or your daughter, sister, or brother, and they shock during the eating, and you're gonna hold their neck. It means there's a sign of they have airway obstruction. Then try to help them to drink something. If you can take this object out from their mouth. But if you can, you have to come from that them, and you can do the bigger maneuver, so the object can come out from their airway. Also, the tongue can cause the airway obstruction when it relaxes to the back. So imagine the tongue can also obstruct the airway. So in this case, if the tongue obstructed the airway, you can't just open the airway by jaw thrust, and it's going to be like open the airway and split teeth. In child, you can hold them and make them face to the back or to the down, and split their back and make it up to come out. If you do this, do this steps and the victim is not unresponsive, if it's unresponsive, you will do CPR. So it's the same thing that we do before CPR. To sum up, we speak here about what is CPR and how to do CPR and who will do CPR and why CPR is important and where we do CPR. Our goal, according to the American heart situation, about 92,000 life was saved each year because of CPR. So we need to write this number up, and you have to teach your kids, your son, anyone that you love, because you don't know one time maybe this kid's gonna save your life in the future. Thank you so much. If you have any question, I'm with
There a 911 system in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, we have 9 answers.
Is it all over, like in the rural areas too, or just in the city?
No, but all